Welcome to Deadly Dames. So this is a video that we've been trying to do for a while. We've just not really had time off together to do it. Because we've been trying to watch every single movie that Rob Zombie has directed. So we started off with House for a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects, and then we moved on to Halloween and Halloween 2. Now I have been told that there's actually a better version of this Halloween if you can get the cinematic one, but I can't find it anywhere, so fortunately it's just going to be a review on the uncut one. But, you know, this movie gets a lot of bad press, but I actually think it's a really good film. Personally, I don't think it's the worst remake that's out there. I mean, put on Nightmare on Elm Street and you'll see a bad remake. But I quite liked what he tried to do with this movie. When I first watched it, I liked it to a certain point. I liked it till about halfway through, and then it felt very much like someone, I don't know, a producer or someone had just said to Rob Zombie, oh, time to make a carbon copy of the old one now. And that's when I decided I didn't like the film. But then I stopped and rewatched it again, and there's a lot about the movie that is really good. First thing that, well, we do the good, but we'll do what we liked first. Okay, so what did you like about the movie?
Well, I liked that he showed you Michael Myers as a child, and he does kind of come across as a normal kid until you find out some of the things that he did, like killing the cat and taking pictures and stuff. But up to that point, he kind of seems like a normal kid. He's living in a household that's obviously got his problems, but a lot of houses do. So I kind of like that bit about it, that although it's rumoured that John Carpenter wasn't happy that he tried to show you the person behind the mask. I mean, even though Michael Myers is, you know, he's a person, but what was scary about him in the original is that he's an unknown.
Shape, that's what they called
he's
him,
an
the
unknown,
shape.
but sometimes it's just as scary to know that a monster is just a person.
And a monster could be living next door to you.
Exactly. So I quite like that aspect of it.
I quite liked that you got to see him as a kid, and I liked that you got to see him slowly change into, like, the shape, because he got taken away from his family, rightly so, he did kill half them, but, you know, he got taken away from his family, and one thing I really liked in this was Malcolm McDowell. I actually really like him as Sam Loomis. I like that he turned Sam Loomis into a complete and utter arsehole. The guy just was obsessed with himself, and I think maybe to start with he thought he could help Michael, but then it became about the fame and writing his book about Michael Myers and, you know, just getting publicity from it. And I liked him being the dick.
See, I like that this film raised the question that, well, if Michael had had the proper treatment when he first killed his family, would he have been able to have been helped to an extent, or would he always have become a monster? So it made you wonder who was the real monster, the guy who probably knew after a point that he wasn't capable of helping him, but also, I mean, he must have had huge amounts of fame because he was dealing with what probably was quite a high profile case, because here's a kid who's murdered half his family.
I know.
And I think that, I mean, I do and I don't feel sorry for the child Michael, but I like that it gives you that sort of
Yeah, it plays with you. It makes you
uncertainty.
think, do you feel sorry for him or do you not?
I mean, you feel
One thing I
sorry
don't
for
like
his situation at home, and you think, well, what if he wasn't living in that situation? What if, like, his father hadn't? I mean, I'm assuming that he died. What if he did die, right enough, the sister does mention it at the start. But what if he hadn't died and things had been a bit better for him? Would he have still turned out that way? Was it nature or was it
yeah.
So I like that.
That caused that debate. One thing I didn't like, I'm just going to touch on that before we say some more stuff we liked, that yes, I liked seeing his upbringing, but I kind of liked the idea in the original Halloween that he could have been from a nice upper class 2.4 children family and he still turned out like that. I didn't think it needed to be like a poor white trash family, and that's kind of what they did in this. And I know what you're saying, like, isn't nature vs nurture, but
I think though, had it been I think though, if Rob Zombie had made it a case of like it was a really posh family with loads of money and big cars in the driveway, if he'd still done that, you would have just thought spoiled little rich brat. So I think the reason why he had that in that home situation is because probably more people can relate to a child with problems than a rich brat.
Well, that's probably true. So I get that point. I think it's well acted. I do like Sherry Moon in it as the mum. I think she does really well as the mum. Like, she plays really well. Like, obviously being upset and angry that her daughter's died, but also trying to help her son. I mean, that must be a really, really shitty situation to be in. That one of your children's killed your other child, but you still love that child. I think she played that really well. And then in the second half of the movie, like, I really liked the casting of the sheriff, and the actor's name's going right in my head, Brad Dourif. I liked that they got Daniela Harris in it. I thought that was a really smart move. Similar to the original Halloween. I mean, if you're going to get like a final girl in a movie like that, why not why not Janet Leigh's daughter? So why not get Daniela Harris, the girl that survived Michael Myers in 4 and 5, to come in as one of his victims? I actually liked that she survived. That scene where she was trying to tell her friend Laurie, wasn't it? Try to tell Laurie that was her name.
Laurie's the main.
That's what I'm just checking. I was like, am I just making up this lassie's name? I suddenly thought, did they change her name? When she's trying to tell Laurie that he's still in the house. I thought that was quite good. And I actually really liked the casting of the guy that played Michael, because he is so big. Next to the lass that's playing Laurie, I can always get her name wrong. Is it Scout Taylor?
Something.
I was going to say Swift. Scout Taylor Swift.
I'm trying a minute. Scout Taylor Compton,
yeah. Like, he is. She's maybe not your ideal final girl, but I really did like that she was tiny next to Michael Myers. And I liked that Daniela Harris was tiny next to him as well, because it really shows you, like, how big he is and how scary that is. One that caused a real debate with us was the rape scene, because I hate movies that just put a rape scene in it for the sake of it. Like, if it's in it for a reason, that makes sense. Like, if it's going to improve the storyline, but you know what I mean. If it's going
to crucial to
the storyline,
then. But if it's just a gratuitous scene, then it's not.
This one, the first time I watched it, didn't. But then I realised what they did when we were watching it. So they have the janitor, who's played by Machete. Yes, we don't call him by his actor name. He is Machete, who's sort of befriended Michael Myers. And then you have these two guys that go in and do, like, rape the other patient in front of Michael Myers. And it kind of makes you think, right, is there some humanity in there, because he kills them and he doesn't kill her? So then you think, oh, he's actually human. He walks away after it.
Do you see her alive when he walks
She's still in the room. He walks out the room after. Okay. So he doesn't kill her. So you think, oh, maybe he is still human after all. There's something still human in there. But then he walks straight into the guy who's befriended him and kills him. So it does make you, it kind of plays with you, so it does actually enhance the storyline. So
well, you made a good point as well, because as we're saying, like, I think just having a gratuitous rape scene's a bit arsey. I think if it's not part of the storytelling, why have it in there? But Mandy made a good point that, you know, there's no sort of humanity left in him, but also he didn't take advantage of her himself after he'd killed those guys, so he's got no sexual interests whatsoever. And that's probably quite important for later on in the film, because obviously these are, like, boys and girls that he kills, but Annie is topless when he kills her. Now, if he had any sort of sexual motivations or urges, that he would have done something. So clearly he doesn't have any interest in that whatsoever, which makes him a bit
inhuman.
Yeah. Which adds to, I think it
adds
a bit of depth
to the fear of him. I think, like, like, there's nothing that's going to stop him from doing what he wants to do.
I think he's just an unstoppable force of rage, and I think to add any sort of, like, sexual urges in that would probably take away from that rage.
We did laugh at the inappropriate behaviour between like, Laurie and her parents. Like, remember there was a scene where she, like, fingered a donut or something, wasn't it? And
that's
like,
right.
We were like, who does that with their mum in the room? Like, I mean, especially I'm older now, and I'm certainly not going to do that with my mum in the room. But I thought Dee Wallace, another good casting choice. Her death was pretty nasty, but looking at Halloween again, I actually really, really enjoyed it. And I'm going to look out for the cinematic one, because I never went to see Halloween, like the remake at the cinema. We did go see part 2, which we'll do in a separate video, because we've yabbered on too long to fit both of them into one. But we never went to see actual, like, Halloween, the first one. So the only edition I can find over here is this uncut one, but I've been told the ending is better in the cinematic one.
Well, remember we watched the alternate ending.
Yeah, so maybe that is the alternate ending.
We watched it and we didn't like it.
What was it?
I can't remember what it was, but I remember we preferred...
one of the endings is Laurie shooting him and then screaming, and then the other ending is he gets pulled back out. She gets pulled back out the car.
Oh, that's right. I know.
I think. It's terrible. We're talking about, like, we really enjoyed this movie and we can't remember the ending, because to us, like, the really good part of this movie is the start of the film. The
start in the middle.
People can debate with us if they want, but I do feel like the ending was very abrupt. Like, that's... I kind of liked it. So, my foot's going numb. Sorry.
I think what I found strange about the ending is that obviously there was a lot of, like, I guess maybe Rob Zombie had a lot of his own music or somebody else's music in the start and the first, well, maybe the middle of the film. But see, the end, suddenly you had, like, the classic Halloween theme. And I thought that was a bit strange. It felt a wee bit weird, but I don't know if maybe it's because that, well, this is now the night of Halloween, so that's why they had that classic music in there. I really don't know.
I, for one, really like Rob Zombie as a director. I like that his movies are fast-paced. They feel like music videos, and I kind of like that. I like his music.
No, this didn't feel like a music video.
Certain parts did when it was going really fast and really choppy, but I like that. Is that Jaws that's just started playing? It is. Sorry, distracted by the phone. The music coming for the phone. So, I really like Rob Zombie. I think he gets a hard time, but I actually think his remakes he did a pretty good job with the first Halloween. But as I said, on the next video, we're going to come back with Halloween 2. We'll try be nice, right? But hopefully you agree with our review. I mean, if not, then obviously let us know. You know, we like to chat and debate about films. I think this movie personally gets a hard time, and I think that if you're somebody out there that's personally not watched it because you're such a fan of the first one, I would say I love John Carpenter's Halloween. I will always love it, but I do like this one too, so give it a go. Just watch it and take it on as if it's a different movie. Yes, it's got a similar character, well, same character in it, but it's a different take in the movie. Just think of it like that and don't compare them. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave any comments below. Take care.